Hi everyone and welcome back to our weekly lessons. Thank you for tuning in on today's session on fairway woods. Thank you and welcome to all our new subscribers to the website to access free content as we head and gear back up for golf in a few weeks' time. Certainly a little change in the weather over the past few days, so hopefully spring isn't too far away when we get back on that golf course in just a few weeks' time. So we're going to keep these sessions going. Feel free to log into members area and catch up on all the sessions I've done over lockdown. Hopefully I can give you some good tips to get the game in good shape when we return to the golf courses and the driving ranges. So tonight's session, all about fairway woods. So quite a few questions about from the ladies on this one. How do we play it? How do we become more consistent? Certainly from the on-course tuition days I do, and the away days, it's definitely frustrating when we get that drive away. And then the fairway wood is the one that can really progress us down close to the green. So if we can get this club working this year, it should really help the games and lower the scores as well. So we're going to get stuck in straight away to talk about the setup position, which I think is really important with fairway wood. So it's almost that in between. Some people try and play it like a driver. Some people play like the iron. So let's talk through the setup first of all to make sure you're in good shape when you address the golf ball. So I think without a doubt the biggest thing I see when I see people playing the fairway wood shot is they play the ball too far forward. So I see a lot of people almost put it here on the red line opposite the left heel, and almost take that driver setup, and that really is difficult then to get a good strike on the ball, and often leads to golfers trying to help it up in the air, and the strike comes out of the bottom groove on the 3 wood I've got here, or 5 wood, or 7 wood. So the first thing I want you to do is to make sure you've got the right setup position with the ball. And for me, the white stick here is a lot better position. So I'm going to nudge that ball back here. So that's approximately 1 head's width inside my heel. So that's a good gauge to work on your ball position. And the second thing I do, and I encourage you to do if you try this as well, is try to get your hands perhaps a little bit more pushed forward. Okay. Now that might seem a little counterintuitive because you want to try and get the ball up in the air, but then you're pushing the hands forward. So if I just explain that a little bit there, often with the fairway woods and the new woods at the moment, the face here is slightly curved. So on the bottom of the 3 wood, there's actually less loft than there is on the top of the wood. So by pushing the hands more forward, yes, it might seem like you're perhaps de-lofting it, but what you're doing is you're actually presenting the top of the face, which is the most lofty part of the fairway wood. You're presenting that to the golf ball. So that would actually give you a lot more lift on the ball when you strike it. And a good way to test that, again, if you bring back the favourite shampoo or foot spray, you go to the farm to get some foot spray. And when you go to the range, or if you get on the practice ground in a few weeks' time, just literally spray it on the face and just monitor where you're striking the golf ball, because I guarantee a lot of people just strike it too much on that bottom edge, caused by leaning back here and catching the top of the ball. So by putting the ball position just a head's width inside the left heel and then pushing the hands forward, that is a really good setup to make sure you're going to try and hit the middle of the fairway wood or the upper half of the fairway wood where the loft is, as I explained there. There's more loft on the top, so that's a really important point if you can give it a go, and then try and get your strike at least in the middle. Okay, so give that a go on the driving range. And then I think if you are practicing at home as well, I think let's just discuss the hitting down, hitting up, debate, which with the fairway woods. And without a doubt, if you're going to get a good strike on this fairway wood, you do have to come and collect and brush that ground. Okay, we're not saying we're chopping down, and we're definitely not hitting up. We want to just almost get that brushing action on the ground. So if you can get in your garden in the next couple of weeks, just want you to get that setup in place. Make sure it's in that width inside the heel, and then just have some swings and just feel yourself just clipping the ground. Notice how my body weight here, ladies, is going forward I'm definitely never holding back and trying to lift it up, which is what a lot of people do with this club. So get yourself set up and just see if you can have some half swings to begin with, making that sound on the ground, and that's will put you in good shape to get a nice strike on the fairway woods. And what you'll probably find is you might find that quite easy with the half swings. I think this is where a lot of people struggle with the fairway woods on the golf course, is they actually get into a bit of trouble when, because they might have heard the tip down the ball, they'll be able to get that grass. What I see actually in the backswing is they get to the point of halfway back and then the body really lifts up to try and complete that backswing, leading then to this club coming in too steep on the way down, and the inconsistencies come then. So just, really make a conscious effort with the fairway woods. Want to try and keep that body rotating, and the reason why you probably find it quite easy on the half swings is we can have a nice rotation here, but if I extend my backswing a bit further from there, then notice how I'm still rotating to the top. Try and resist the element to lift up and then crash down into the ground. That can cause the heavy ones, the top ones. So I really want to, with fairway woods, I know you want to progress the ball down the fairway, but keep relaxed, okay? I want you to really take this on board. Relax your arm pressure, your shoulders, your hands, and really focus on the body still rotating. And a good thought of that is to try and complete the follow through. So a lot of people are so concerned about hitting the golf ball and getting a good strike, but they actually forget about that follow through. So if we can think about trying to achieve a full follow through, don't overcomplicate it. We're thinking about brushing the ground. We've got a nice ball position now with the setup nailed, the hands are more forward. All the way to focus on is brushing the ground and then finishing all the way through. So give that a go there. Brush the ground. I'm nice and relaxed. My arms are nice and slack. I'm going to follow through properly, and then I'm going to let the wood do its job. Let the equipment do the job. Don't try and force it down the fairway. Keep super relaxed, ladies. Nice rotation without the lift, and then just get a nice follow through and just hold that position there. And that'll get you a good strike. And that's all you need to do on the fairway woods, is just get a good contact on it, and you will progress the ball further down the fairway. Now, we had some questions in as well about which fairway woods to use in certain spots. So a lot of ladies we teach at the academies around the country, yes, 3 wood, 5 wood, 7 wood even, and just understand that obviously the 3 wood, for example, is that's probably more suitable when it's quite dry on the ground. We're going to get a bit more run. If you're playing overseas, it's a great option when you've got no trouble in front of you. The 5 wood probably overall, I'd say, from my experience, been the most popular one, because it adds a bit more loft, gets a bit more hang time in the air, and still gets a bit of run as well. 7 woods again, even more loft, and don't be too worried. If you find yourself hitting particularly in this country, if your 5 wood goes almost further on the same distance as your 3 wood, don't be worried about that. It just means that the ground is probably not as dry, so you're not seeing that total distance increase from the 3 wood with the 5 wood that you would with the 5 wood. So often the 5 wood is a good all-round choice, but hold that 3 wood back for when you've got that nice firm, hopefully firm ground in the summer, and you get a lot more run. So yeah, 5 wood, 3 wood for run, 7 wood's a great option as well, and then after that, probably going to go into the hybrids. And in terms of the lie as well, save these for the fairway, nice lies. If we're on that semi-rough, if it's nestled down in the grass, then get your hybrids and your irons on them. Save these fairway woods when we've got nice lie, and we can go through our setup routine, pull that ball inside the heel, hands forward, hopefully nice tipsy tonight, that one, not back, and then just work on rotation in the swing. We're clipping the ground and we're following through completely, okay? Having that rotation, ladies, ensures that we don't just pick the club up and hit into the ground. So dry shampoo or foot spray when you get on the range in a few weeks, and just test your strike. We don't want it anywhere on the bottom, we want it in the middle or the top, and having that new setup tonight will really help by pushing the hands forward to get it on the uppermost of the driver face. So yeah, give them tips a go. Any questions at all on the fairway woods, feel free to send across, drop it in the forum, and we'll answer your questions in our instructor support area where you can ask us 3 questions about your game. Apart from that, this week upcoming, we've got Tuesday, our interactive session. We're back, myself and Olivia Pearson from 3 Hammers are going to be doing a PowerPoint presentation on some equipment. We're covering the fairway woods as well, and a little rules quiz with some prizes up for grabs as well. So if you do fancy joining us on Tuesday, check that out in our group coaching section on the website. I'll be back again on Wednesday with some more free coaching content. So let's get looking forward, ladies, to hopefully a much brighter summer ahead with the golf finally coming back on the radar. So I hope we're all keeping well still. Yeah, keep positive, and we're back in a few weeks. So I hope you enjoyed that. Any questions, let me know, and I'll see you back on Wednesday.